views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Meetings of the Minds in partnership with BronxNet Television. As you are all aware, we created these segments in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. It was really important for our members, partners, and affiliates to understand what resources are out there to help each other get through all of these challenges. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing a dynamic individual. We first met Trina Fresco when she was the VP of U.S. Strategy Community Alliances at Nielsen. We actually recognized her and her work during our Business Banquet and Scholarship Award reception. We're here to discuss the importance of prioritizing health as a business professional. Trina created a beautiful platform, which is called, I love the name, Health plus Wellness equals Wholeness. Health plus Wellness equals Wholeness. Trina, how are you? How's your family?
Hi, my love. I am fantastic. And you know what? By the grace of God, myself, the whole family, we're all in good health. We're happy. We're peaceful, which is, I think, more than any of us could ask for in these times of, sheltering in place and not seeing people. And, I'm Latina, so I'm such a hugger and a kisser. And it's just such a different place that we live in. So I absolutely love and commend you and the Chamber for putting this series together, and while we're all so physically apart, bringing us spiritually together is fantastic. So I love it and I commend you.
Thank you so much, Trina. As Latina, Afro-Latinas, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. All we know is how to implement solutions, right? That's what we're about here.
What we do.
Right? This is how we roll. Trina, I have a few questions for you. As a business professional with demanding hours, you're also a mom, a wife. When did you first start seeing the signs of stress, and how it was weighing on you? Yeah.
So first, let me take a step back before I reach that tipping point, I'll call it. And I'll say that I'm sure all of your members and you can agree with this. We were raised to be great. My father escaped communism in Cuba. My mom, beautiful woman, born in the United States. Our family, every single day, we were taught and told that we could be anything we wanted. And you know what? I believed my father when he told me that. So I was raised in an environment where you pursue perfection. You pursue perfection. You sleep less. Like I remember my dad saying, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And we used to be like, that sounds crazy. And that is the kind of hustle that we were under. You work as hard as you need to work to achieve your goals because they are achievable. So being raised under that mantra, that's how I went after things. So I would say I reached my tipping point. In the last job that you had mentioned, I was the US Vice President of Strategic Alliances for a global corporation. So traveled probably weekly, spoke publicly around 50 times a year, was responsible for a massive budget, 175 events a year. And so we're talking that standard operation for me was between 60 to 80-hour work weeks every single week. That is what it took to be excellent. Now, mind you, no one said, hey, Trina, go out and work 60 to 80 hours a week. But if I wanted to be excellent, if I wanted to pursue perfection, that's what it took. And truthfully, I would find myself coming home on a flight at 11 o'clock, walking in the door, finding out that my middle daughter needed a costume for a school play. And I'm up hand sewing whatever I could find in the house to make a shark, till 2 a.m. And then, getting back up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning and starting it all again. So in 2016, I left my role in corporate America. My son was facing a huge medical process and procedure. He had a leg lengthening procedure and was in a wheelchair from July 2017, and he was in the wheelchair for 9 months. He gets out of his wheelchair in March of 2018. And, this is me caring for his wounds. He had 11 pins drilled into his tibia. This is me being his nurse around the clock and still taking care of the house and doing everything that I needed to do for my family. And I started to get sick. So in September of 2018, I had a period that lasted 21 days that month. And that wasn't normal. I started going down the rabbit hole with my physicians to figure out what in the world was going on. Fast forward, 13 reasons why that could have been happening, including a growth in my brain, a problem with my thyroid, and, add the other 11 things. By December of 2018, I found out that I had a growth in my uterus the size of my thumb, and that I had a precancerous uterus. And so if I did nothing, I was guaranteed within 1 month to 1 year for that to turn to stage 1 cancer. And so I opted for a full hysterectomy that upcoming February.
As you know, I network a lot, and I go beyond networking, build these amazing, incredible relationships with so many women who have entrusted in me their health challenges. And a lot of that conversation has to do with the fear of losing their job, the fear of not being able to be that provider, the fear of just so much fear to the point that they end up in the hospital, and many of them have. Like, how do we encourage women? Number one, is this a reasonable fear? And how do we rise above that? That's the question.
I will tell you, I didn't have time for my own health in my life, right? And that's the complication that I think we find as women and as humans, because I will say that men are as guilty of this as us. To be able to listen to our body, first of all, because our body's talking to us, and then to stop what we're doing, to book a doctor's appointment and go see what's going on. That takes a massive amount of time when you're looking at someone who's juggling, a very demanding job, a family life, whether you have children or you're caring for an elderly person or your parents or a godchild. At some capacity, we are all caregivers for each other. And the truth is, the fear is, I can't stop because I don't have time to stop. Because if I stop, one of the balls is going to fall, which is going to have this multiplicity effect, and they're all going to fall. But here's what I have to say to my fellow sisters in the world and to my brothers. Listen to your bodies, because if you don't, your bodies will stop you. So you see, when I got sick in September of 2018, I had a couple of, hey, something's happening here, and I ignored it. For instance, in March of that same year, I went to the bathroom and there was red in my urine. And I thought, that's not normal. But it went away in 2 days. So I was like, that must have been some random who knows what, right? No, I should have paid it attention. I should have. Then another time I went to the bathroom, and in my urine, I noticed a scent. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad, but I noticed it. And what's interesting is when you start beginning to have these conversations with other people, I have a friend that had rectal cancer, and she said she had also noticed a scent in her urine. So I don't know if there is actually a medical association between recognizing a different scent and something going on in your body. But I didn't pay attention. But after my body bled so much that I had to go figure out what's going on, I had to start listening.
I want to know how you changed your routine and some of the things that you implement right now that we can perhaps start doing.
Yes. So here's the thing. On the day that my doctor started her sentence with, I'm sorry, which nobody wants to hear, I'm sorry, you have a precancerous uterus, and if you do nothing, it will become cancer 1 month to 1 year. We're not sure. You can either go on hormone therapy for 6 months and hope that it gets better, or you can have a full hysterectomy, which is where they remove the uterus, they remove the cervix, and literally throw it away. Well, listen, I had 3 children. You can pull my uterus out and bronze it and throw it on the fireplace. It did a great job. I don't need it anymore. Take it. So she says, okay, let's book surgery. And then I say to her, is there anything I can do to get ready for surgery? And she looks at me literally like I have 3 eyes. She's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, should I be eating beets all day? Should I do yoga precisely at 3 p.m.? What can I do to get my body ready for surgery? And she says, I'm sorry. We don't study any link between food and medicine. And I'll tell you that aside from finding out that I was literally waiting 1 month to 12 months to have stage 1 cancer, I felt so desperate knowing that I had no control of what I was walking into. So I left her office and I start Googling hysterectomy diet. It doesn't exist. Now, there are a couple suggestions of foods you can eat after you have surgery to help your recovery. There was no diet. Listen to me, when you have plastic surgery, a plastic surgeon will give you a diet to optimize your healing. How is that possible that we don't have the same thing for regular surgery? So I do what we do. I started praying on it, lighting my candles. I spoke to just a few people about it. And January 1st, 2019, after a great pachanga of a new year, like I'm sure so many of us, right? So pork roasted for 8 hours, plátanos, not just fried once, fried twice, cases of green bottled beer, cheese, I wake up on January 1st, 2019, and I look at myself in the mirror. My hair is dry, my eyes are puffy, my skin looks gaunt, and this is after a hot shower. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. No wonder I have an organ that is becoming cancerous. I am not taking care of my body. And you know what? It doesn't matter what religion you follow. There are monikers of treating your body like a temple in almost every faith-based community, and I wasn't doing it. I was not resting my body. I was not nourishing my body. I was not meditating my body. I was not slowing my body down. Quite the contrary. It was 80 hours a week. Pain is weakness leaving the body. I'll sleep when I'm dead. All of these beliefs that we think we have to be successful in life. Let me tell you something. Once you reach that 6-figure job, and once you get that title, if you drop dead of a heart attack and you go 6 feet under, your headstone doesn't say anything about the job. It doesn't say anything about the salary. It will talk about all of the other things that are so important that we've not balanced. Okay? So that's why I say health plus wellness equals wholeness. That wellness piece is we have to be fully well. Our mental wellness has to be well, all of these things. So I started praying on January 1st when I realized I'm doing something to myself. That day, I give up all of the things that you don't need a nutritional degree or be a brain surgeon to understand. I gave up fried foods. I gave up alcohol. I gave up caffeine. I gave up all these things, but I was still eating meats and vegetables. So I'm praying, and I get a random message on Instagram. It's a friend of a friend that says, oh, so-and-so mentioned to me your health journey, and I'd like to talk to you about something. That day, in my prayers, I said, God, thank you. I know you are speaking through her to me.
I want to know, like, how do you bring this conversation to the professional or arena? How do we get in contact with you? Because I think it should be part of every orientation, right? Because you were the end result, but the continued result of what you can stop or what you can pay attention to at the beginning. How do we get in contact with you?
So you can email me at trinafresco@gmail.com. So TRINAFRESCO@gmail.com, and I'll respond very quickly. I would like to say 2 messages. First, I want to say to employers, whether you're a small business or big corporation, because I've worked in both areas. The most productive and stable and long-standing employee you will ever have is an employee that feels like you care about them. An employee that recognizes what they bring to your organization. And so if you bring the concept of a whole human as part of your mission in your company, that you want your whole team, which are whole humans, to come together to deliver whatever it is your mission is to the world. The world will also become more important consumers when they recognize that you have purpose-driven mission leadership.
We thank you so much. And remember, everyone, health plus wellness equals wholeness. We're going to bring Trina back for another episode of Meetings of the Minds. I think we need more of this and a constant reminder. Pero para toda mi gente, bendiciones, and enjoy the rest of the day, the evening, or whatever time you're watching this. We'll talk soon. Thank you, Trina.